Oh man, my mic was muted. Sorry, I was saying that there is a stream tomorrow. That's the dev stream. We're gonna be streaming, watching the developer live stream, reacting to it, taking notes, and all that kind of stuff. Make a Reforj animation for starting up and ending stream. Yeah, good luck finding somebody to do that. So a Reforj model doesn't even exist, much less a rigged Reforj model and somebody that can animate it and somebody that can load blocks in. No, it's just not possible yet. It'll probably be a while before anybody can do that. You might see I have a little bit of a new setup right now. I should sound the same to you guys right now, but I actually have two mics in front of me now. Because when I play with Miss P, when we found a Fortnite channel and I'm playing with her or anybody in voice chat, my voice chat always goes through the second mic, while all of my talking to stream goes through the first mic. And my second mic here was sat down on a little desk stand really far away, so it didn't sound very good. So I bought a bracket for my mic arm, and I now have two mounted here right in front of me. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's a nice little setup. Okay. Wish I could transfer points and diamonds to the variety channel. Not how it works there, Johnny. Sorry, man. No extra trolling of Prowl. It's not how this thing operates. Okay. So we're just gonna get started and do some more building on our house here. While we talk about some stuff. It's kind of crazy. Like, I've gotten to this point where like, even though I was the first one in to Reforj, I got in like about a week before everybody else did. I have probably way less game time than a lot of people that have been added in recently, because of just all the stuff I've had going on, and then making the videos and the feedback and IRL stuff, etc. And I invoked the can't use it God so that you can't talk smack about Australia. Listen, man, I can't help it. Ow! Yeah, bring it on. On the same world you're on. Oh, it's on my seed. Gotcha. Yeah, you've been able to build a lot more than I have. I do so many other things that I don't have time to just sit here. I don't have time to spend in the game as much as I would like. Although I do feel like I've spent enough time to make a lot of opinions. I've been so focused on making good feedback and videos. Also, like, ow! I don't understand. I have lights up. Do they spawn in light? Come on. Corn helmet, stop. Oh, you really just spent that? Crap. I haven't put that thing on in like over a week. Stupid corn helmet. This helmet's dumb. I don't understand where all these tunneler dudes are coming from. Okay. So I think we had done this and we had decided I think I decided I was going to continue this. Oh, I have something special. I'm going to show you guys a little bit later, actually. I'm not going to show you yet, but I have something really cool to show you a little bit later. Thought you weren't going to be live today? No, I never said I wasn't. Hold on. Why is this doing this? You're making me hungry. Stop. Listen, guys, let's not focus. Let's not focus on the helmet, okay? Let's not. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. The next stage I was at was I wanted to build up these little side pieces. Oh, I need to craft some concrete, I think. You said that yesterday? Did I? I don't remember. Wait, was I even live yesterday? Listen, I don't remember things, okay? In a YouTube post? Did I say I wouldn't be live at all? I really don't remember. Or I wouldn't be live till later. We put like a little window right here. Just be like a little like side room looking thing. Where it like opens up into this. Why? Oh, I ran out of blocks. So I have some cool things to talk to you guys about today, and I have some cool things to show you and some cool things to let you know about. There's a lot happening in the Prowl-Reforjed world right now. Quite a lot, actually. I thought I said I wasn't going to be live. I'm not going to be. Oh, well, I might be live tonight, too. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes I just say stuff, okay? Yeah, I think we'll leave a little window right here. Okay. Now I think we maybe, what if we give this like a little, maybe I'll just give this like a normal slope almost. Jorge said there will be prowl corn. Stop. No. So, where's my dead wood? I take this helmet off yet? 5 seconds. I want to talk about stuff. I can't do it. I can't think with this helmet on my head.
Singing his song.
Without audio.
When the night turns gray.
Oh my God, why? Listen, I've avoided you guys doing this for a while now. We just keep it like that, please. Wow, no Minecraft? No. I'll be back to Minecraft next week. I'll probably still have like a day set aside for Reforj, but like we'll be mostly back to Minecraft next week. So I wonder if this, what I should do is like do this guy. So, oh, let me get this up. So here's the deal, okay? I got some pretty cool things going on. I'm supposed to meet, that looks good. I'm supposed to meet with a couple of the Reforj developers next week. We're gonna have I guess a private call to talk about some Reforj based stuff. Maybe some of my feedback. I don't really know the full context of what they want to talk about. I just know they want to meet with me. So that'll be cool. That'll be fun. Okay, I can't carve it anymore unless I do. Actually, I think what I would do is this. Looks kind of cool. You can get some interesting shapes when setting all this up. So we're going to talk about that. I think we might talk about, I definitely want to talk about the art direction and the blocks. That's one of the cool things I have to show you guys today. I'll actually show you here in just a few moments. I've had an artist start to work up some designs on some of the blocks. I actually need to check with him really quick. Has he done anything else? He's not. But he's worked up some graphic designs for new block textures for the game for me to present. And I have some feedback on him, some things I want him to update on them, but like they look pretty good. They look pretty good. So that'll be really cool. I'm really hoping to help steer them away from the current graphic design in the game. I don't think it's going to appeal to a broad set of players. Sure, there's going to be some people that like it, but I think largely the majority of players are going to see it and they're not going to like it. They're going to think it makes the game look cheap and underdeveloped, even though the stuff they have under the hood on the engine and the features in the game are far from that. Like, they're so good. So I would hate something like people's perception of the graphics not being good and not being maybe inspired by the blocks and that kind of thing to keep people from playing the game. That would just be a tragedy, I think. I don't think we have any way to make brick right now, like regular bricks. There's the only brick blocks you can make are the sandstone, which almost looks like gold. I really despise it. Snow, which is cool but not usable in a lot of areas, and then just the regular stone bricks, which I guess we might have to use this. I was thinking maybe we'll have like a chimney. Oh, that's a problem. So maybe I'll do like a chimney back here, actually. Maybe it'll go like here. And then I guess it'll kind of cut up through the roof. And will it, maybe it'll cut in through all of these blocks too. The art style's okay. I feel I can overlook it. There's definitely room for improvement. I really can't. Like honestly, man, when I see a lot of the blocks, they really don't inspire any inspiration for me when it comes to building. Here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this with you guys now. Okay. Let me pull up some stuff. Okay. And oh, let me do this. So full screen. And here we're gonna do a little screen swap here real quick. Let me hop into my first creative world. The one that's got all my like blocks placed down, okay? So I want to show you guys some stuff. And of course it's nighttime. I hate that you can't set day night, but it's whatever. So let's start with, I think this is the oak block and the oak timber block right here, okay? So when I see this block, I really like, I don't have any like it doesn't feel like a log like block. It just kind of feels like a bunch of like elongated cubes that are stacked on each other. There's no real detail to it. So like when I try to use it as a pillar or something like that, it just doesn't feel like that. It just kind of feels like a messy brown block. And then this guy right here, sure, it looks like a really cartoony interpretation of a stripped log. They call it timber, of course, in here. The lines are really big and it just lacks any kind of depth or detail. Okay. So keep these in mind. Look at these. All right. Now here is, well, let me do this. Okay. So I'm gonna have some like edits made for this, but here's an example of let me shrink the browser down too. Here's an example of a texture that I had made up, and I'll tell you the feedback that I've given on it to hopefully make it even better. Thought the oak block was dirt. Yeah, so like this is like a zoomed in version of it. It'd probably be like closer in size to like that, right? But this is a oak bark like texture versus this. Now I think I may add in, I'd have to look at the coloring. I think I may add in that the person colored the bark a little bit darker. I don't know, if I look at an oak tree, let me look at an oak tree. Yeah, like it needs to be darker for sure. Let me find like a closer up picture of an oak tree. This is not bad. Open image in new tab. Like if I look at like an oak tree, it definitely needs to be, the colors on this are definitely too bright. So I would darken it all. But the texture itself is so much better. And then another one of the like pieces of feedback that I'm going to give to the artist I have working on this is to try to add some of these like triangular or like geometric style shapes in some of the shapes of the bark. And I don't think it has to be every single piece of bark has to be shaped geometrically. I think you just have some of it can form these like geometric or triangular shapes and it'll look good. This is probably the worst of the textures I wanted to show you. So let me show you the next one. I'm gonna scooch this over here. Here is the oak timber or stripped oak. So again, much smaller details. Looks a lot better, I think. I think we may have to I don't know what resolution they use for their blocks here. This I think was 128. So we may have to increase it to 256. This could even be I don't think this is 64. I think it's 128. Okay. But like this would inspire me a lot more as a like a timber or a stripped log block. And then again, what I would do is like I kind of like the shape of the little knots they have here where they get to use those like geometric shapes of diamonds, triangles, polygons. I would probably do something like that within this. Would you like it if the blocks had depth? I mean, they definitely do need depth because they have none right now. There's literally no depth. So this like offers some shading, offers a lot smaller details. So, and I think the coloring is probably a little bit better than this. Like the coloring in Reforj feels so flat in comparison because everything's just a single tone. So there's no color detail to the blocks. Now, maybe something more between this and this would be better, where you remove some of the noise from this to get a little bit smoother texture, but closer to the rework than to this. Again, I would maybe make the little knots in the wood kind of have the little geometric figures to them, just to kind of give that sort of feel to the game, to the textures to carry that theme across. Okay, now here's where we get to some of the interesting or fun ones. The grass texture and Reforj, I kind of hate it. Like low key, I kind of really don't like it at all. I think it's terrible. So if I move to grass here, look at this grass block. It's got a lot more texture to it. This actually kind of has a little bit more of those like sharper lines and triangular shaping to it. I think we could probably brighten up the coloring just a little bit. This maybe feels like it would go in like a pine forest biome or something like that. And maybe the lines need to be a little bit more grassy looking. But overall, it's definitely 10,000 times better than this. Definitely looks and feels a lot more grassy. And then here's the one that I like the most. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Here's the one that I like the most. And I purposely picked the block that I have the most visceral reaction to. This is slate. I don't know if you know what a piece of slate looks like, but it's not this. This block is disgusting. So here's the slate block I had worked up. This looks good. I could see this in the game. I would probably make some of the shaping of the slate a little bit more geometric. So like I would sharpen a lot of these corners up, but I like the overall level of detailing, the lines and the shading in this as a piece of slate versus this. So I have some like feedback and iterations of this we're going to go through to get it better. It looks 3D. Yeah. Looks more like 2D stone than slate. What, the Reforj's version? Reforj's version, like if you would have put this block, the Reforj block in front of me without telling me what it is or what category it's in and say, okay, can you name what this block is? There is 0% chance I would be able to say that this is slate or this is granite. I would maybe get that this is stone. I don't even remember what this is. This basalt? I don't even know. I think this is marble. Reforj, yeah. Like this is just a not good looking block. I'm sorry. And I I wouldn't want to hurt the feelings of like whoever on the Reforge team made these textures. I'm sure they just kind of had a direction, and that direction I just think was wrong. Maybe they probably implemented it in the way that they thought that they wanted to, but it's just not good. Visually, the UI needs a change. Yeah, I have something that I've worked up on that. I think did I submit that? I don't think I've submitted it yet. But like the out of all of the wood blocks, the oak is probably, I don't know, the pine. Honestly, the pine is really bad. I think the pine is disgusting. I would never use this on anything. I would rarely use this on something. The birch, I mean, it looks like birch. It just needs to be a little bit more depth and detail in it. This is the jungle. This is the only one that I use because it actually feels like it has like a direction to it in some sense. But again, I still don't like it a ton. And the deadwood, I really like it doesn't, it's not a wood. Like this doesn't look like a wood bark at all. I don't know what this is. If you put this in front of me and said, okay, I want you to guess what this block is, never in a million years would I guess it's a wooden log. I just would not. I like the coloring on the planks here, the timber. Like that's cool and interesting. But yeah, and like, don't even get me started on the leaves. I think the leaves are absolutely horrible. I would never use these in anything ever. And so this is why I think this is really important. If you're going to get somebody to play a game that its primary focus is building, people need to see the blocks for the most part, like be able to guess what that block is. And have some type of like, you have to see a block and be like, oh my God, I want to build with that. Like think of Minecraft, right? What happened when they showed us the pale oak trees and the pale oak, a few months back in Minecraft? We were all like, oh my God, I have to build something with that. It looks so good. I have to build something with that block. And we get really excited about like the different blocks in the game. I remember when Deep Slate came out and, Blackstone before that, you see those blocks and you're like, oh my God, like I have to get my hands on that block. There's so many things I can think of to do with that block. And very few, if any, blocks in Reforged thus far, I think give you that feeling. So even if you look at it and you think, oh, that block looks okay. Okay is not good enough. Every block needs to be a home run. Every single block needs to be knocked out of the park, and it has to inspire people to want to build with it. Most leaves don't look like leaves. I don't quite know what that means, but these just like, this is a pine tree. These don't look like pine needles to me. These are just little, like, it's a mouse cursor. It looks like they took a 3D mouse cursor like image and they just copy pasted it and turned it different colors of green. That's all that looks like. Multicolor block. Yeah, that's coral. Again, I don't like it. Like, I don't know what these blobs are. It just doesn't look good, man. I'm sorry. It just, like, none of it really looks good. These leaves, like, they just, no. Like, the shapes maybe could work if a lot of additional work was done with them, but like, just no. Like, what is this? If you put this block in front of me right here, never in a million years would I guess that these are leaves. I would not guess that. These, sure. These would never guess that these are leaves. Looks like I would say this is like a emerald block. This looks like a bunch of hearts. I don't know what this is. Yeah, just like most of these blocks, I would never in a million years guess what they are. I don't even know that I would guess that this is gravel. Like, I don't know what else you would think that it is, but it's not gravel. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I wouldn't even guess that this was grass, honestly. I would think it's maybe some kind of ore block or something. So I think that's my main point, is that a lot of these textures just you can't relate to them in any way. You don't get inspired by them. So like when I'm building stuff, all of my houses that I've been building pretty much look the same because I don't really think many of the blocks look good to be used anywhere. So I'm going to continue to have some work done on these to get them a little bit better. And then we're gonna, oh, I did not mean to close that. And I'll have 2 iterations of them made up. I'm gonna have one that's like super saturated, just like kind of fits in the game right now. Maybe like a slightly toned down saturation. And then I'll probably have a more realistic tone one made up. And maybe the texture will be a bit different or something. But yeah, like it's not it. So I don't know if this is one of the things I'll get to talk to the devs about next week when I have my meeting with them. I kind of hope that it is. And I hope that they're extremely open. Not just open in the sense of oh, there's a patch notes for some bug fixes. It's like a hot fix. Okay. Oh, they added the ability to change and freeze time of day while in creative within world settings. Is that here now? Hold on. Hold on, my sounds are delayed. I might need to force close the game because it's supposed to be within world settings. Is it here? Yeah. Okay. It's supposed to be here. That'll be really cool. Here, let's force close. Updates. How do I force update it? One update available. Okay. So yeah. So I think right now where I am with Reforj, there's 2 things that I think are dire that they do. And I think these 2 things will make a really huge difference in people's perception of the game as they move forward in the testing. Number 1, and the biggest one, is the textures. You understand most of the images are placeholders? No, but they're not. They're not placeholders. Now they've said that they're open to like feedback on the textures, which means that they're not saying that what's here is definitely just going to be it, but what's there is their intended direction. At no point have they said that they're placeholders. So what you see is their intended direction of art. What we need to do is not just say, I think, hey, can you guys like tweak this and tweak that? We don't want them to tweak these. I think they need a okay. I was like, oh my God, it's not here. They need a redo. You're not going to save this direction. This direction needs to be abandoned. Time of day. Cycle time of day off. Okay, this is cool. Okay, I like this. Yeah, this is very good. Yeah, like you there's no one thing you can do to these blocks to save them. You can't just say leave the textures as is but add depth. You can't just say keep the same style but like change the color a little bit. You can't just say like add some more details. None of those things will fix this. All of those things need to happen. The texture needs to change. The coloring needs to change. The level of detail needs to change. The depth needs to change. All of it. The time you said is better than Minecraft's. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Here, I need to fix this. There we go. So that would be thing number one that I say is urgent, like they need to do. It is I would say it's a must. I would go as far as saying if the game launched with a lot of really cool, amazing features, but looked like this, they're gonna have 90%, 95% less players than if they had better textures. I think it's that bad. I think they would lose 10 to 20x the number of player base that they would otherwise get, if not more. Thing number two is the world height that I mentioned in my more recent feedback. They definitely need to add in the world height. I think that's going to be really important to people. It's not as big of a thing as the textures is, but I think it's a really big thing. I think they need to have the world height. You got to go up to 255 and down to -128. And set sea level at, set this at 0. Anything else in those patch notes? Ability to change and freeze time of day, added delay between music tracks, change the names of the following. Jungle bark is now kapok bark. Jungle leaves are now kapok leaves. Is that a real thing? Is a kapok a real tree, or do they make it up? I'm fine with like made up, like non-real life things. No, it's a real thing. Hold on. I wonder if it's a certain type of tree in the jungle. Here's a kapok tree. They seem to grow. It looks like they grow very tall, and they branch out up high. I would say if they're going to say that this is the tree they want to go with, they're going to need to look at this. They're really cool looking. If this is the route that they're going to go with what used to be the jungle tree, they're going to need to change the way the tree generates, because the jungle trees are very like low hanging. And do we have any around here? One who loves the textures. I like it. No, you might be. I really despise them. I hate the textures. I think it could go as far as that. Like if they stayed like this, the textures would probably keep me from playing the game to any meaningful degree, because I literally am not inspired by any of these textures to build anything. I'm just not. I have no inspiration from them at all. I can't connect with them. The Minecraft textures are so much better, and I think there's so much room for improvement. I don't like the simplistic style. It would be like if Minecraft's only option were like the kind of like plastic textures that kind of almost fit this type of style. I would hate it. I would not like it at all. All right, what else they have? And Minnow, how's it going, dude? What else was in the patch notes? Fix crash, fix hang, fix game, seed, name reverting to no, fix blue and purple, bootleg not showing as expected when placed in the world and then viewed in the player inventory. What's Budleia? I don't. What is that thing they're talking about? Are they talking about the resin? Wait. Blue and purple. This is the only thing that has blue and purple. Oh, is it this? Oh, okay. Okay. Only textures I don't like are the mobs. I like the mob textures. I don't mind. Well, I really like, I love the Regal. I like it a lot. I like the Tunneler Scout a lot. The Kibi I think needs a little bit of work, but I don't hate him. I think he just needs he needs a little bit more detail. I think he needs a little bit more detailing. He kind of gives me the same vibe as the textures, and I don't like it. Okay, so what was I going to do? I was going, so we were going to spend a little bit of time talking about some ideas that I have. Okay, so I think I should get out my Word document, or where is it? My notepad. The textures will 100% keep me from playing this game. See, and I think I feel the same way, Papa Snuffy. I could love everything else about the game, and I do so far. But like if I like everything that I do is revolves around building, or like you always see the textures. So I don't know. I think we'll see, right? I know they're open to changing it, but I don't know if they will or not, right? It's a big thing to have to do to say, hey, we actually don't like our whole art direction we took. We're going to change the whole thing. That's a big change to make, even this early. But I do think it's the right one. I really do. I think it's one of those things where you just kind of suck it up and be like, hey, like we kind of had a direction we thought we wanted to go with. We kind of thought we liked it, but we saw your feedback and we understand, like we agree. Like we think we need to go a different direction with it. And that'll take a long time to do. But like they're going to have to make all new textures. That's not going to happen overnight. But yeah. So I like the type of time you can set that. Yeah, the time setting is really cool. All right, so listen. So let's see, feedback and ideas. So the first suggestion topic that I want to work on here is going to be about tool progression. Okay. Now, I do think largely Reforj has talked about having an Omni tool. I don't know how stuck they are on this potential Omni tool. But that's kind of where it seems like their headspace is right now. So they have an Omni tool. I have no clue what I'm doing here, if I'm going to keep using this document or not. Omni tool. So with an Omni tool, you have just one tool. One tool. Low progression. Little progression. You know what? I don't want to do it in paint. All right. Ooh, okay, let's do it here. Let's do it here. So here, I'll zoom in so you guys can kind of like see what I'm typing a little bit better too. So tool progression, current, Omni tool. One tool that can mine all block types in the game. They changed the art style. I hope they show picture before adding them to get feedback. I don't know. I think it'd probably be a good idea for them to do that. I don't know if they'll do that publicly. It'd probably be a good idea, or if they'll just like loop some people in. I don't know. But I do think, yes, before they like go full on and like just redo all the textures and then say, hey, how do you guys feel about this? They should definitely like do a few and maybe even have a few iterations and kind of have some people kind of like talk about it and like kind of see how people are feeling about it. An idea, then you can upgrade a tool to make more shapes. I don't like that because then I don't like the idea of gatekeeping shapes behind progression. I don't want to have to wait till later in the game to be able to make a fence or to be able to make a smaller circular block. Like, I don't think you should gatekeep that. And also, do you really want to have to carry a specific tool around and have it in your inventory and put it in your hand to like carve certain shapes? I don't think so. I just think every shape should just be available from the start. I don't think you make shapes and sculpting part of the progression. I think you do that. I think tools is a good progression though. So current Omni tool, one tool that can mine all blocks in the game versus an axe, pickaxe, shovel, hoe, shears. I think like tool wise, like that's kind of where we are, right? And then we got to talk about like upgrades. That's the tool. Oh, that's cool. It automatically made it into a table for me. How did it know I wanted to do that? Well, I actually don't think I want this to be one. Delete cell. Just delete the cell. Okay, so anyways, tool, and this will be upgrades, right? So I'm not gonna like give these special names. We're just gonna talk about what the upgrades would be. Durability, speed, I guess maybe some of them we'll put into Minecraft terms, and you guys can think of, if you can think of any other like super meaningful upgrades. Durability, let's think of the generic ones first. So durability, speed, quantity, certain blocks, quantity of like ores, plants, etc. And then so far I guess there would not be a quote unquote silk touch, because there's nothing in the game that you break and it turns into a different block than what you get. And I'm fine with them not having something like that in the game, which would mean there's no need for a silk touch like block. Oh, so here, I guess these are like the generic ones. I guess if we do quantity for an axe, quantity would be like saplings, sticks, other tree drops. And then yes, there'd be tree capitator, break entire tree. Hey. Okay, and then you would go down to pickaxe, and then it would be these same things, but the quantity would be from ores. Other stone block drops if exist. When destroy grass, you get dirt. Yeah, this is true. That's a good one, Dan. So yeah, I think you're right. So I think you would need a cat's over here. Stop. We'll just call it silk touch for now. It's fine. They can call it what they want. Column mining. So with the pickaxe, you would have multi-mine, 3x1, and then 5x5. Wait, 3x1, 3x3, 5x5, with option to select. So that way you could select if you use it or not, or if you have it or not. Like I could have it upgraded to 5x5, but if I wanted to still mine a 1x1 or a 3x1. Okay. Shovel. So again, these same things. Now, we'll talk about how these upgrades would happen. I think I'm going to recommend to do them differently than like Minecraft with enchantments, but we'll see. Yep. Yeah. You're definitely right, Reforged. So yeah, I think the Silk Touch would be a needed thing. Okay. So shovel, Silk Touch. Think of what we could call this. We'll call excavator. 3x1, 3x3, 5x5 with option to select. So it would do the same thing, but it would be for the shovel. So they would have that. Oh yeah, vein miner on the pickaxe. That's true. Yep, vein miner. Okay. Shovel, hoe. Okay, so hoe would have all of these normal ones. Oh, wait, shovel. Shovel wouldn't really need a quantity one, I don't think. At least for what we know right now. So I'm gonna take quantity out of shovel. For hoe, we'll leave quantity, but we'll say for props. Silk touch. And then does anybody know, like, or you could come up with a name for me, what would be a good name for, or just a good way to describe a hoe being able to harvest? I guess we'll call it harvest. Multi-harvest. Multi-harvest. 3x1, 3x3, 5x5. And then we'll have another one called replant. Auto replants harvested crops. Hold on, the cat's getting crazy. Yeah. Get out of here. So it'll auto replant harvested crops from inventory if there. Okay. Shears. I don't know what we would use shears for yet. I guess like I guess shears would be used for like maybe collecting like grass and stuff and flowers. Like I would say maybe you have to use shears for those things. For leaves. I mean you could use the hoe for that, or you could use the shears. I think shears would be okay. Yeah, I think shears would be okay for that. So shears would be durability, speed, quantity. It could, yeah, we could maybe even have like a quantity for that. I don't know. We'll see. Like this doesn't have to be like super final, right? Silk touch. Wool, if such a thing maybe exists at some point, you know, we don't know what they're maybe going to have and not have, so we'll have to see. Hold on, I have a message. Oh, okay. So we'll see. Like we don't know what future uses these tools will have. Okay. And the shears could have like a multi-harvest like thing too. But I would say maybe they would multi-shear. And then I would make it like maybe even bigger. So 3x3, 5x5, 7x7. Like let it get a little bit larger, because you may want to just like, maybe you want to just chop down a whole bunch of grass that's on the ground or something like that, or a whole bunch of leaves. To be able to do more of it, you would want the shears for that. Oh, and the quantity could be for like grass, flowers, etc. If they wanted to do that, they don't have to do that. And then you would still have a multi-tool Okay. The multi-tool would get durability, speed, and quantity. But that's it. It would not get any of the others. Oh, and Silk Touch. No other special. No other. Let's see. How do I want to say this? Does not get tool specific multi-block features. Okay. So if you just have an omni tool or multi-tool, whatever you want to call it, you only have one tool for progression. Oh, why is she back already? Is she misbehaving? So if you only have a multi-tool, then Miss P brought Stormy in here, and she tried to turn around and walk out the door, and Stormy darted. She was gone. It was pretty funny. So if you only have a multi-tool, you have very little progressions you can do with that tool, and it's just boring. I think one thing that's important with a game like Reforj, Minecraft, Hightail, whatever, is like you need things to do. And being giving things to grind for and do can either be a good thing or a bad thing. It's a good thing if those things are fun and feel like meaningful, impactful, and balanced. And it's not fun if it's just a boring grind, right? So that's the thing. Is going with the and you are going to have problems you're going to have to solve. So like, what are the pros of a multi-tool versus separate? So multi-tool pros. One inventory slot. Easy to use. Less overall. Wait, I guess we'll just call like easier to obtain. Because that's all you got, right? I think the game would still play on full release. Do you think this would be a game you would play on full release depending on how good it is with what they've added? I mean, it definitely can be, yeah. But, you know, just it's going to depend on all of the factors. How much do they like? How much do I have to do? Do I get that cool feeling that I get from Minecraft of like, man, I have like years of stuff worth to do, but I like it's fun. It's really fun to do all of the stuff. Or is it like Pal World was to me, where like the building was boring, the gathering materials was kind of automated. You built a station and set some pals at it, and they would work, and like that was kind of like it felt very boring to me. You kind of like get to see the stuff and experiencing like you got to experience the fighting and that kind of stuff, and then like like it's good, like I'm fine, like you got a little bit of hours in it and you're done. So you know, let's see which route they go. I don't know yet. Obviously, like you can see, I want it to do good, and that's why I'm here doing all the feedback. Okay, so pros: one inventory slot, easy to use, easier to obtain. Cons: lacks depth, could be too easy, limited progression, overpowered. I like the multi-tool, but think I should have to make each tool then combine. No, see, I don't even think that. Look, so hear me out. Okay, so separate tools, pros. Okay, let's give ourselves a little bit of space. Pros for separate tools. Meaningful progression. Gives player a lot to do to obtain and independently upgrade the tools. Better game balance. Cons. Player has to obtain, upgrade, and keep track of numerous tools. Takes more inventory slots. It's like a futuristic game, so they probably won't add tools. No, but like, how are you thinking of tools, right? And then like, think about this. So you don't have to think of tools in the traditional sense, first of all. But second of all, this is like, I think this is what the game feels like to me. It's definitely like an open-ended thing where like people are going to be talking about the lore and the story of a world. But to me, it kind of feels like you are a like maybe an otherworldly being that has like been deserted or stranded on this planet. And the planet is kind of like not barren, I guess, but like void of any other like intelligent life, really. So you just have to survive. Like you've landed in this like weird area. Like it doesn't look like you're of the world. Or I don't know, maybe you could think of some other thing. Stop it. So if you're here with nothing, then wouldn't you need, like, you're having to gather everything. We're even gathering like primitive stuff. We're gathering iron and gold and this noble glass and like all sorts of stuff. So I don't think it would feel right that you're starting from nothing, but then you also have the ability to get a tool that can just break it can just work on everything. To me, that feels like a stretch. And like I don't like it. Where's concrete at? Here it is. So what if tools don't exist in the traditional sense that we think of them today? I wonder if I could find something. Hold on, let's check Google. Futuristic X. So like, what if the tools that we have don't look like traditional medieval style tools, at least fully? What if they look like, I'm trying to see if I can find a cool example of something. I'm not finding anything so far, but like I have this picture in my head of like raw materials that come from the world. So it could be like wood for a stick, like a stick for wood, right, as the handle, and then some combination of like the noble glass and aura and the raw materials like wood, stone, iron, and then other materials they add to the game later. And then this pickaxe or this axe or this shovel actually feels like it's a magically held together and created thing that, man, I really wish I could find a good image. Like I imagine the artwork kind of being like almost like you see some of the stuff in the game already, like the Regal or like even the player where like you're not fully, like everything's not fully attached. Like I imagine a like slightly detached look to the tool and then incorporating noble glass, and then the noble glass is like an aesthetic piece that kind of looks like it's made to be part of the tool. And then the little like floaty magical bits that kind of look like they're holding, like that you would explain that's holding everything together, would be aura. Does that make sense? Futuristic. Stormy, stop. Let me try instead of pickaxe. Let me try axe. Let me try like maybe magical. Like this is getting a little bit closer. Open image, and new tab. Like this is starting to get a little bit closer, but still not totally, right? Like what I'm thinking is like something that kind of has this look, and then like maybe the noble glass is part of the like the pickaxe portion, and then it has some like disconnected bits that like are kind of floaty and like polygons or whatever shapes. And then the explanation as to how it works is that aura is what holds it together, but it's still like a physical tool. It's like a physical tool that is aided by and improved by magic or something like that. By the magic of aura. Just trying to see if I can find anything like another cool looking design. But like I feel like all like your physical tools and weapons would like be this. They would look like this. So and this is why I think this is important. People like things that they're familiar with. It's just a psychological thing. So like if you're mining stone, like you just kind of think pickaxe, right? If you're chopping a tree, you think axe. If you're digging in the ground, you think shovel. But I think people are going to be very open to interpretations on that, and will think a like unique futuristic style design on it and spin on it, but in a way that looks familiar. I think people will like that a lot. Man, it's hurting me that I can't find something better. It really is. It's really painful right now. I want you guys to know. Something I've been trying to find something that has that sort of like disconnected feel, floaty feel to it, but still has a physical resemblance. But yeah, that's the route I would go. So, like coming back to here, we had a few cons to doing multiple tools. So here's the way I feel about it. Let's talk about the progression. Go down here. Progression. Possible tool belt like a mini bar. Yeah, we'll talk about that because I have some ideas, and it's pretty much going to be something similar to that. So progression would be let's talk upgrade system. Upgrade mechanics. So I think that the upgrade mechanics should be using tool to level it up. This would be easy to do. Not meant to be a huge roadblock. Maybe players can even apply aura to tools to level them up faster. Upon reaching certain levels, upgrades become available for the tool. Specific supplies or a currency like or oh my god, like aura could then be used to upgrade, to add the upgrade to the tool. Durability levels 1 through 5, speed levels 1 through 5, etc. This way you get to progress your tool at a reasonable pace through normal gameplay. But methods exist to progress tools much faster, allowing players to speed through progression in tenured multiplayer worlds or through other gameplay means. Hey, thanks, Reforj. Appreciate it, dude. I think this does this make sense? So upgrades would occur on some workbench style block. So like, and I'm not married to it being this like this. It's just my idea. But like, I just imagine a world where like you're using your pickaxe, and just by means of using your pickaxe or using your axe or your hoe or your shovel, you level up that tool. And let's say it's minimum level. Let's say, you know, start at level 0. You can level it up to 20 or 50. I don't know, whatever, right? And just through regular use of your tool, you're leveling it up. When you reach level 2 or 3, you could add durability 1 to the tool. When you reach level 6 or 7, you can add speed 1, quantity 1. And then as you keep leveling up the tool, you get access to higher levels of these things. And again, maybe once you get to like the ability to add speed 2, or like durability or speed or quantity or something, maybe there's a special item you have to bring to your forge to upgrade that tool. Maybe it's an item you have to go out in the world and find. It doesn't have to be anything super duper crazy, because I don't want it like the skill leveling system of Stardew. Yes. But I just want to be careful with the balance, because balance is important. You don't want people to feel like it's this huge crazy chore and they have to spend 50 hours just to like get a good tool. That's not the point. The point's not to make progression super hard. It's more for the progression to just be there. So you don't just start out super powerful and then, was the cat misbehaving? Misbehaving? It's to give people those feel-good moments of improving their tools and making it so in a brand new world that you're playing by yourself or whatever, that you don't just start out super crazy powerful, right? And then if you want to, you can gatekeep a little bit some of the harder to get stuff, right? You can gatekeep maybe after level 30 or 40 of your tool, it really starts to slow down a decent amount. And you need a special hard to get item to put into your upgrade bench to get tree capitator on your axe, or multi-miner vein miner on your pickaxe. You know what I mean? So it becomes, or maybe multi-mine's not on the pickaxe. Maybe you add in like a hammer or something. But regardless, the really good stuff would require special material to get and find to add to your tool. Sort of how like it's, you know, elytra is like a late game thing, or shulker boxes are a late game thing. Like some things are good, but like for the most part, you want the stuff to be kind of easy to get. And then if you like, you want to give people a way to skip the stuff too. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say I make a world or a server or something like that, and then somebody joins that world or server 3 months in. Like, people don't like to feel like they're behind everybody else. So sometimes, like, you know, your server mates will help you out, and in Minecraft, they'll just give you like maxed out tools, or whatever, right? I like that that's a thing. So maybe Reforge's equivalent to that would be that either somebody could just give them a maxed out tool. Maybe once you build a tool and you level it all the way up, maybe you have the ability to copy it at some type of cost, so you can have multiple of it instead of having to level like another one up all the way to, like if I have a pickaxe and I level it all the way up and get all the cool stuff on it, you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to go back to a garbage level 1 pickaxe and level it up again. So if I have a way to clone an existing tool at a cost, then I would like the ability to do that. And then I could just give that tool to a friend. Like they don't have to have something special about their character level to use the tool. I can just make it for them and give it to them. Or maybe I can give them a container full of aura, and then they can apply that aura to the tool. They can take the special items that I've already found and accumulated, and then I just give it all to them, and then they can just power level the tool up in a matter of like a couple minutes of putting everything together. Like something like that would exist. So it solves the problem of like gatekeeping too much. So people can just power through and just like join into a friend's world and kind of start with a really good tool if that's how they want to play. But when you start out in a brand new world, you have to go through the progression of getting all of the stuff and working your way up. And then it'll be on Forj and I guess us as testers to figure out like, okay, is this progression too slow or is it too fast? Like where's that good range of like what feels like good progression? And then I would say the multi-tool is something you don't craft, but you find is like maybe a drop or something, or loot or something from a boss. Like think like Minecraft terms, like I've beaten the dragon and I'm going in and exploring end cities, and then I can get the multi-tool as like an end game thing. And then if I'm just wandering around, exploring, building a house or something, I'll probably just use the multi-tool for that. And I don't need all of these other tools on me for that type of thing. But if I'm going to go out and chop a bunch of trees or go mining or clear out a big area or do a lot of manual farming or terraforming, I'm going to not use my multi-tool for those bigger projects. And instead, I still have a use and purpose for all of my individual tools. How does that sound? Like you get the best of both worlds, I think. Everybody will like, it'll feel super awesome to eventually get the multi-tool and be able to just use it for like maybe 75 to 90% of the stuff that you do. And then whenever you have like a big project where you need a lot of material or to clear a big area or something like that, then you go back to your previous tool that you've gotten and you use it for those special things. How does that sound? This is how I would do it. And then I might have to put down some more notes with this, but I this is what I have. So you guys may have seen, I showed this previously. If my computer will load it. Is it here? Where I made here, let me do this. How does it work with water? Because sometimes you want to take water and sometimes you want to mine in the water. What do you mean? Sometimes you want to take water. I guess you'd probably have something that's like a bucket for water, just like you normally do. And sometimes you want to mine in the water. Yeah, like there would be other enchantment, like I would say like weapons and armor and stuff would also work along this line. And then I don't know where you put some of this stuff. Maybe you have gloves that allow you to mine in water faster or something, and the helmet that does breathing. But I think like you would also level up your armor and weapons in this like similar regard. All right, look. So I made this. Oh, I need to group these. Hold on. Let me do group. and group. Okay. So instead of a bucket, it could be a pipette. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. I think it should exist regardless. Here, let me turn off the right side. Also, the multi-tool should also not receive vein miner. Yeah, I've already have that in my document. So that's the difference. Is the multi-tool is good at all of the individual block stuff, but it doesn't get multi-shear, replant, multi-harvest, excavator, multi-mine, tree capitator, vein miner. The multi-tool would not get any of that. If you want to do anything involving affecting multiple blocks at a time, you have to go back to using the normal tool, not the multi-tool. Ah, okay, TMO. So look, this would be your solution to the inventory problem of having a lot of different tools. You would have a main hand slot or an offhand slot, whatever you want to call it. And in that slot, you could put up to 5 things that you could independently cycle through in your inventory. So I could put 5 tools in here, or I could put 3 tools and 2 different weapons, like that kind of thing. Actually, I think I would have this be the main hand, and I'd probably still have an offhand. So maybe I would have it to where, maybe I would do it this way. So I would have 2 hands. Your left hand or your right hand, could be either one. I guess your right hand, this would be where you'd probably put your tools and things like that. And this hot bar would cycle over to this. Maybe this guy actually sits connected like this. Whereas this one's more like off to the side. And then when I am in this slot right here, this is my hand slot. I could cycle separately through my tools and stuff here. Or in that hand, I could put like any one of these things. I don't know. I kind of have it in my head. I don't know how to explain it really good, but hopefully you guys kind of get the general idea. Well, no, Vanquisher, the reason why I have these are like this would only be seen when you're cycling through. How will that these are like this would only be seen when you're cycling through. How will that work on console? You could do something like oh man, I locked it up. I hate it when it does this. Oh no, I think I've locked up the whole computer. You guys hear me? Hate it when it does this. It's always freaking Affinity that does this. Oh, it's back. Okay. Yeah, it'd be a pop-up. I'm gonna get out of this in a second here. I'm not gonna click anything else at least. Affinity locks up my computer sometimes. I don't know why. So yeah, this would pop up when you cycle it, but to work it on console, they maybe could do something like multi-press, where like if I hold down what's the button here? Let me pull up the game. So when I'm in game, so you do like right bumper and left bumper. So if imagine with me really quick, there's another slot right here. If I go over to that let's just say I'm in that last slot now. When I go over to that last slot, if I hold down left bumper or right bumper, instead of it doing this like cycling thing from holding it down, make it so holding it down doesn't cycle. Like you have to click to cycle. If I hold it down and then hit like B or A or whatever, like a second button on my controller, it would then like cycle through the options that you guys saw me show here. So it would be a 2-button press. So left trigger. So I mean left bumper or right bumper or hold bumper or whatever, and then A. And then every time I tap A, it would cycle through these. It would rotate through. And then when I let off of A, that's the one that it selects. That makes sense? Or press the up arrow. Well, I'm talking about controller, but yeah, I mean, You know, they could figure out however way they want to do it. But usually, like they're going to have other things they add to the game that are probably going to take up the D-pads. I think if they want to really have like controller be a really good method of play and also have this game have a lot of convenience features built in, they're going to have to take advantage of multi-press. I've seen a lot of games do it and it works really good. Hold down trigger and click up or down on. Yes, yeah, anything like that's fine. Yeah, like you could hold down the bumper and hit the D-pad up or down. However they want to do it. It doesn't. I don't think it matters too much. I think that's probably a better implementation. But that's what I would do. They need to take advantage of multi-pressing buttons. And if you do that, like then the sky's the limit. Like you can do so much then if you just take advantage of that simple feature. Hold on. Where am I getting pinged? I got a notification in the Reforj Discord. I don't know why I got pinged in the main channel. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see where I've been mentioned or anything anywhere. I don't know. I don't understand. So yeah, that's what I would do. And I think if you do that, you solve the inventory problem. And then like this might be one of the things that like if I talk about like a future feature with the Reforj guys that that I bring up to them. They need to think about this type of stuff. I feel like here's a problem that a lot of here. Okay, I'm going to give you a really big problem that that I fear that Reforj might go down this path, and or they could go down a different path. It's also not good. If they might try too hard to appeal to everybody, and then in doing that, you do things that don't actually appeal to everybody. You do things that kind of actually narrow your game too much. I would say that Blizzard did this with Diablo 4, where they make this really cool, it was a really like anticipated ARPG game that I was super excited to see, and so were a lot of other people. And they simplified it so much that after buying it and playing it, like I quit like a few months later because it just wasn't fun. They made everything so simple to do what they thought they wanted to do with appealing to casual players that the game just it didn't have any staying power. It wasn't fun for a long time. And I think that these companies will, and I'm not saying 4J is like this, but bigger companies do this a lot, where you kind of assume that your player base is kind of like really noob and dumb. So you try to dumb everything down. You dumb down the graphics, you dumb down the UI, you dumb down like all of this stuff. When really all you need to do is you need to make the core stuff simple, and then you need to explain the things that aren't cool core stuff. So if there's a tutorial built into the game, like if I go through the tutorial world or my first time playing and I have tooltips turned on for playing in a new world, and then it could tell me when I'm looking through my hotbar, it could tell me, okay, now hit the right button again, and that will take you to your tool slot. You have 5 slots available in your tool slot to place your tools. Hold down the right button, and then while holding down the right button, press up or down on the D-pad to cycle between your tools in your tool slot. You can change or add tools to your tool slot by going to your inventory and then going down to your hotbar and then going to the right of your hotbar to where your tool slots are. Like that's all they got to do. So like your core assumption won't need to be players are dumb. They're not going to figure out multi-button press. If they want to figure it out, their parents, or if it's a kid, their parents, or a YouTube video will show them how, or again, you just build it into the in-game like tutorial for like how to play for the first time, that after we kind of learn those things, we just kind of turn off because it's not a big deal anymore. We don't need to know how to do it. It just needs to be built in there. Explain to people right there how to do the stuff. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And people will get it. People will understand. And then when it comes to like other stuff, right? Here's another thing. This is why I'm a little afraid Reforj is going to go down this path. And this could be one of the things that I think could lead to the game potentially not being good. Is if you try to simplify things so much to where you think, oh, like we're just going to have one multi-tool, and then players are going to find that easy and not like a big roadblock, because people don't want to think about and figure out how to and go through the process of upgrading 5 or 6 different tools. People don't want to do that. So we want to make it easy. We want to make it easier. But don't worry, like we'll have some upgrades for the multi-tool. What you're going to do is that simplifies the game a lot, and it eliminates you from adding in all of this cool feel-good progression. Oh man, I just leveled my shovel up to level 12. I can add excavator level 1 on here now. Oh man, that's so exciting. I can't wait to do that. You know what I mean? So don't I would warn them, don't oversimplify your game because you think it's going to appeal to a certain audience maybe. When you could still do stuff like this, and as long as you explain it decent and you make it a fun and not a grueling process to get the upgrades to your stuff, people are going to like this. And then you still add in the fun multi-tool idea. I like the multi-tool. You know, the Minecraft, one of the most popular add-ons that or mods that people use is the Paxel. People love the Paxel. But like, let that be a cool reward for people to get at the end. Like, give people what's fun and familiar, and bake in some cool stuff like these upgrades that I've said would only be available in these. That way, these tools don't just become irrelevant. You would still want them and need them in your world. You still want to have them. And then add the multi-tool in as that really cool thing you find later on that's like really super convenient and allows you to, like, in the late game, you don't have to carry all of these things in your inventory all the time. You could keep them in a equivalent of a ender chest or something, right? And then you have just your multi-tool in this slot, and then you could have maybe a little bit higher variety of weapons or like some potions or something like your late game, right? You have the multi-tool, you're at the end game. So now my right-hand slots here, I can use this for stuff more intended for combat maybe, or more intended for building or something. I don't know. You get where I'm going with this? It adds depth to the game without making the game difficult. The game's not harder. It's still easy to understand. It's still straightforward. It's not a huge roadblock. You're not trying to make it too hard. You're just giving people a bunch of points to go through the upgrade process and feel good about it. And then if some type of unintended roadblocks become a thing, then you handle that and you eliminate them or change them in a way that makes them fun or makes them shorter or whatever is needed. I have not eaten lunch. I'm super hungry. I'm gonna go take a quick peek to see if there's something really quick I can grab to eat, and I'll be back. All right. So, like, what kind of feedback do you guys have on this? I'm kind of curious what you think. Like, is this the route that you think that Reforj should take? I'd probably add, I think I would probably take pickaxe, multi-mine out of pickaxe and maybe put, nah, I think I'll leave it in a hammer. Maybe we'll leave it in pickaxe instead of putting it in hammer. I think it's fine. If you were to change your crafting system, what would you, oh yeah, this is a good one, Dan. Because honestly, Reforj's crafting is very basic right now. And I don't know if it's that way by design or if it's just that way because they just haven't gotten there yet. But like, what do I need to do? Go here. Put myself in creative. There we go. Or out of creative. Like the crafting is so basic and it's not fun, right? Think about Minecraft really quick. Even depending on if you play, how long you've played Minecraft, and even if you play Bedrock or Java, your experience with crafting could be slightly different. But regardless of which one you do, crafting in Minecraft just feels fun because you get the little 3x3 grid and you lay the materials out on it, or you select the recipe and it lays the materials out for you either way. But it just feels fun that like, oh, that's those blocks or those items are going together to like make the thing that I'm crafting. It's such a stupid little psychological thing, but I think it really means a whole lot. I think people unknowingly, or maybe a lot of people knowingly, but unknowingly too, if you never really thought about it, when you craft stuff in Minecraft, you're having fun without realizing it. You know what I mean? Like it just feels fun to select a recipe and then the items of that that go into that recipe physically form something that looks like the shape of the item that you're making, or are materials that go into the item that you're making. Even when you like take a block and you like put it in the stone cutter, like it's kind of cool. Like you hear the sound when you craft it. Like it just kind of feels cool. Like, oh, like the stone cutter just carved this into a stair for me, right? Like you may not need that type of tool here because we can sculpt, but I don't like that you have to click on each item to see if you can make it. Yeah, that's like, I guess it's more of like a UI thing than a crafting thing. But like I think they need something, and I don't know what that something would look like, but honestly, like I think I would go something that feels more like the Minecraft route. Like screw it. Like why not? Like it doesn't have to be a grid like Minecraft, right? Like like Minecraft is, you know, Minecraft's got the 3x3 grid. Like you don't have to have something that's the 3x3 grid like Minecraft. It doesn't have to be in this form, but like, listen, man, Minecraft doesn't own the patent to some type of like a physical layout of putting materials together to make the thing that you're trying to make. Like they could have something that it's like their own like unique shape or something like that. I don't know. But I think they need to do something. I don't know what the answer is. And you guys know me, I'm usually pretty good at thinking up of what the answer should be. I don't know the answer here yet, but it's not this. This is boring. It's uninspiring. It's a copy paste of what every other game does because there's no thought that's gone into it. It's just, hey, yeah, you just need a few ingredients and you throw them together and you get the thing, you know? That's not fun. It's not visually fun. It's not inspirational in any way. You're not going to get people thinking of like, oh man, Reforj talked about this new thing item that's coming into the game. Oh man, it'd be really cool if this was the recipe for it, because I could see you like putting like these items here and these items here, and like those things together would make this item. Like you're not going to have that level of inspiration. They can make it like Minecraft's, but hexagon shaped. Yeah, I mean, that would be a simple way of doing it, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think they could maybe, if I thought about it long enough and like looked around for some inspiration, I could probably figure up something. I don't have the time to spend like that kind of time on, you know, something like that they might not even institute. But I think a unique solution exists, a unique, currently unthought of solution to make crafting simple, but just simple but fun. Like Minecraft's crafting is simple but fun. They could have something visual that's simple but fun for how you put materials together for crafting. They need to figure out what that is. They need like, just like they did with sculpting and block placement and what they have planned for aura and gateways. Like, they have these like truly unique and really good implementations of different things in Reforj. They need to do that to crafting and not go with this, because this is boring. And overall, I think the UI menu, it does really suck. It's not good. The UI is not good. I did a redesign of the UI, and what I have doesn't look great, but it's more functional. They need to move more to function like this rather than huge mobile UI looking menu like this. We need something that's functional and gives me a lot of stuff on the screen and gives me a lot of capabilities rather than this. Lego blocks for working with stone. They need a hammer and chisel tool. I don't think anybody wants to do that, TMO. And I don't even mind, personally. I don't even mind if crafting happens in menu versus it being in a block. I think having to use like a crafting table in Minecraft is kind of boring. I wouldn't be opposed to it being in a block, but like, I'm also okay with it just staying in the menu. And I think the menu itself could be a little bit cooler. Like, we have this, like, you have this like little control device thing on your wrist. Like, I feel like your menus should be like you pulling that up, or like popping up a hologram or something. Like maybe you see your arm kind of go up like crossways, like right here underneath the hotbar, and then a hologram pops up, and then that's the UI. That'd be so cool. Games have done that for a long time, so that's not a new concept, but you would feel more attached to the menus and that sort of thing. And then they definitely need like little buttons for like sorting and moving stuff into chests and things like that. TMO. But yeah, I think that needs to be a thing. I do. Oh, there's a lot of people replying to my sculpting and block placing feedback. What are they saying? Okay, this person doesn't like the idea of connected shapes, and they have a decent enough like rationale for why they don't like it. I can understand that. Also, connected block in Minecraft behave differently in the vertical and horizontal axis. Yeah, I mean, they have some good points. Hello? Hi. Oh. And then somebody responded, solve this as well have a connect tool. I don't think a connect tool. I think something else, like a shift click or something, like some kind of press or something in the menu. All right, let me comment on this. Hold on. in the, hold on, let me tell you guys what I'm putting here. Okay, here's my solution. Guys, I have solutions for everything. Are you ready for it? My wife agreed with me. She's like, yeah, he does. I thought I turned this off. Okay. So here's my solution, okay? The person had a good point. What if, like in Minecraft, for example, we're just going to say that this is a fence post. What if in Minecraft you want to place fences down beside each other, but you just want the posts sticking up? You don't want them to connect to each other. Or you want to put a fence post beside a wall, and then that fence post not connect to the wall. In Minecraft, we're just used to that. It's a thing that just happens. We know it's going to happen, and we maybe just like it, right? That's just the way that it works. Maybe for somebody that hasn't played Minecraft before, maybe it's weird that like a wall can connect with a glass pane or like something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not intuitive for some people, or maybe there's instances in building that you don't want things to connect and instances where you do. I can definitely see that. So what if in this menu right here, not only will you have your shapes, but you have a shape option. If I were to select that, then blocks I place down that can connect will connect. And if I deselect it, blocks that I place down will never connect no matter what, right? So I could be on, you know, let's say that I had a fence post selected and I'm placing down fence posts, right? And right now those fence posts are not connecting. I don't have the connect option selected. Instead, I could select my fence post and I could go here and say connected. Now connected is turned on. And then when I do my fence posts, they all connect. And then if I ever want to start placing blocks again and I don't want them connected for some reason, I can just go back up there, select that option and flip it off. It's that easy. Bam, on, bam, off. Like that quick. On, off, on, off. While we were talking about the crafting UI, I would prefer if things you can't craft were darker. I think they just, if you can't craft it, it needs, they need like a sorting thing like Minecraft, where like I can select to see stuff that I can craft and not see stuff that I can't craft, or select to see stuff that I can't craft too. And then, yeah, I like your idea of it being, maybe it be like, if I have some of the materials, it'd be like yellow. And if I have none of the materials, it'd be like red, or like a shade lighter or darker or something like that. I think any of that would be fine. Okay. I have fixed lunch. I'm going to eat. We've been live a couple hours now. Yep, right at 2 hours. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to eat. I'm going to put together this feedback from this and maybe a video talking about it, so I can submit it officially as a idea for the game. And then I may work on a couple of other videos. I got to take a look and see. I know I need to work on a video for like my initial reaction when we get more Minecraft streams, probably next week. I don't know. I could even fit one in this week. We'll have to see. And then also, I'm going to set up a thing for the like the Fortnite streams on the other channel, And I'm going to try to set up this thing to where I can pull up Miss P's screen on my screen and maybe we'll try that out as a thing as opposed to her streaming. We'll see if people like that or don't like it. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I appreciate you guys hanging out for a couple hours today. Thanks for the feedback and the inspiration for like some of the things we talked about and kind of helping me like tweak some of this. It's been fun. And I'll see you guys. I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow or not, if I'll go live tomorrow or not. We'll see. I'll probably be on tonight though, playing some Fortnite with Miss P, I think. So thanks and see you guys later. Bye-bye.